Welcome to the coming apocalypse. Evangelist and pastor Paul Begley will take you on a journey into the end times prophecy. He'll examine current world events and explain how they relate to the end times. For decades, Pastor Begley has provided people all over the world with an understanding of today's world events from a biblical perspective. Now here's your host, Pastor Paul Begley.
All right, and we are live from WHMB Studios here in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're just a little bit north, actually. It's technically Noblesville, Indiana. And Pastor Paul and Stephen Ben-Danoon are here. We're going to use our Fair Use Act, that we might be using some images just for educational purposes only. So we have our Fair Use Act here. Just to let you know. But yes, we're here at WHMB Studios in Indianapolis, Indiana. And you have Heidi Begley with you today instead of Pastor Paul Begley. We're coming off of a great weekend that we had in Cincinnati, and we brought Stephen Ben-Danoon with us up here as far as Indianapolis. And he is taping with Pastor Paul today at the studios, so that you will be seeing him not only on the YouTube channels, as you did last night. They got together and did this Sunday Night Live YouTubes, but they're also going to be taping for the television. So you will see them on the Coming Apocalypse television stations for the next 4 television programs as well. So that worked out really well. So we just had a great weekend. We had Clyde from ground zero, that's it. So we had Clyde Lewis from Ground Zero and his lovely wife Janine Duffy, and we got to hang out the weekend with them, and that was a whole lot of fun. They talked about what they knew about the heavens are shaking, and about what they knew about Nibiru, Planet X, and that was just fascinating. And then we got to have John Moore and got to talk with him and what he knew about his years of experience. He's known about this for years and years. Since the 80s is when he first was briefed on all of this, and how it's going to cause a lot of climate change problems, and how the sea levels are going to be rising. The pole shifts are happening. The jet streams have already stopped. And we're going to talk about some of that flooding problem today that's affecting us, especially along the Mississippi River and the Louisiana basins of Mississippi. And all of you guys are having a lot of flooding going on down there. So prayers for all of our Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida Panhandle online church family. So we're going to be talking about some of those water levels rising down there. And then we had Stephen and Yana Danoon were with us as well. So we've been getting calls this morning for some of you wanting to order some of the DVDs, or you're ordering them through the website, and that is all good. Getting some calls right now, and unfortunately it's just me here, so I can't take your calls while I'm on the air. But just keep calling, and we'll get back with you, and we'll help you order that either through the website, or you can also send in to 1048B, Sagamore Parkway West, Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. If you want to send in a card or a letter, and you can order it through the mail. It's $40 for the DVD sets. It's a little bit more than an hour each speaker, so it's a little bit more than 4 hours each, and it's just amazing information that you will receive from. And then of course Pastor Paul spoke and brought it all in through the biblical scriptures. It was just amazing. It really was amazing. So if you want to order that, do that now. And like I said, I can't get your phone calls right now, but I have been getting phone calls this morning. And if you want to order it over the phone, we will help you do that as well. And I will call you back. But we will be taking those orders all week. Now, it does take a couple weeks for us to get those DVDs processed and made. but we will get those to you. All right. All right. So glad to have you here. And like I said, we're just coming off this weekend. We had people there, just filled the auditorium. We were so thrilled to get to meet some of you that we haven't got to meet. That's always the fun thing for me, is to get to meet some of our online church family and get to give you some hugs, and finally get to meet some of you that we've been corresponding with for years. And we finally get to meet you face to face. I just love that part of going on the road and getting to meet everybody. I just love it, love it, love it. So that's just wonderful. And some of you we've got to see more than once. Sometimes it feels like little mini reunions. I was telling Melissa, who does such a great job at taking pictures for us, I said sometimes it feels like we have little mini reunions all over on the road, and that's just a wonderful feeling as well. So sometimes we get to meet people for the first time, and sometimes we get to just hook up again with people that we've been meeting here and there and everywhere, including Israel. So if you want to meet us and be a part of going to Israel October 28th through November the 7th, you need to start signing up now. The deadline's starting to approach in July. You could still keep signing up all the way through September, but the discount starts going away after you sign up in July. So start getting your deposit down now, so that you can get the early discount. All right.
Come join me on a journey to the Holy Land. Sister Heidi and I are taking those of you who would love to go to the land of the Bible, be baptized in the Jordan River, take communion at the Garden Tomb, or a boat ride across the Sea of Galilee. I mean, this is an experience, a life-changing event. The Bible will come to life right before your very eyes. It's October 2019. Come with us. Experience Israel.
Go there. We show you all of the beautiful trees that he has gathered, where he's working on the sacred incense, where he has been commissioned from the Sanhedrin to make the sacred incense for the third temple. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place to be. Guy just puts his heart literally into these trees, the frankincense, the myrrh, the balm of Gilead, the balsam trees, the cinnamon trees. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. You don't want to miss it. And he also makes oils. And there's healing properties to these oils. Do you realize that the balsam tree has healing properties? And it's still, you can't say that because of the, FDA, blah, blah, blah. But luckily there is no FDA in Israel. But there are tests still being run, and they're still in the testing phase. But they are believing that there's a certain breast cancer that affects Jewish women, and it's only in the DNA of Jewish women. And they are believing that there are certain properties in the balsam tree, and they are trying to extract those healing properties from the balsam tree. There's research doctors working on it as we speak, that have healing properties towards this specific cancer that hits the specific DNA of the Jewish women, the breast cancer, the specific breast cancer that hits the Jewish women. And so wouldn't that be biblical? Where is the balm of Gilead? Where is the healing for our daughters, it says in Jeremiah? Now, wouldn't that make sense if we could get this healing property from the balm of Gilead, the balsam trees that Guy Ehrlich is growing on his farms? Wouldn't that make sense if this research breakthrough could occur at the Balm of Gilead farms? Well, of course it would make sense. And the research doctors are working on that. They are working on that as we speak. The miracles of God that break forth. It's just amazing, amazing things what God can do when he breaks through on this holistic journey of the oils. And no, I'm not saying that has happened yet. I'm saying that is the things that are being worked on, the things that are being prayed about, and the things that that God is bringing forth through these miracle oils the frankincense trees that Guy has on his land are on the endangered list. There are several species of frankincense trees, and the specific frankincense trees that he has are not only some of these 22 species, but the endangered species of frankincense are on his land, that he is restoring his frankincense trees that are on the endangered list. And then you take those endangered frankincense trees, they come into bloom at a certain time of year. He has bees, they make honey. You have this very, very rare honey that comes from these endangered frankincense trees. He sells that honey out just as soon as it gets processed. I mean, it's just amazing what happens on this farm, the Balm of Gilead Farms. And we go to that farm on our Israeli trips. So I know I could just talk all day just about the Balm of Gilead Farms and Guy Ehrlich, because I just love going there to his farm. So anyways, let's talk about all these other things. Let's go to Psalms 139. Psalms 139, and let's talk about that. That is just this beautiful psalm, 139, and let's see if we can get Max to read it for us, all right? Let's see. Max doesn't always want to cooperate with me, but we'll see if he does today. Max? Hello, Max. Will you play for me today?
Psalm 139.
Oh, nope, not enough volume.
Thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my downsitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee, when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. Depart from me therefore, ye bloody men, for they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me, and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
All right, that was Max. Okay, I see that I'm going to have some computer problems here, so I don't know that we're going to get a very long show today. So I'm going to kind of rush through here and do what I can, because it's not going to cooperate with me. So let me get you some of the highlights of the day. Louisiana is having a huge flooding problem going on, and so I just want to give a shout out to them that Louisiana is having a big problem with the water down there. The water is rising on the Mississippi. Freight trains have been derailed on the Mississippi River. That happened actually 2 days ago, but they're saying that there is going to be even more of a problem. They expect the Mississippi to continue to rise throughout the rest of the week.
But for now, back.
All right, so a freight train derailed in Mississippi after heavy rains overnight caused flooding.
Top stories tonight. This
2
freight
days
train
ago.
derailed in Mississippi after.
Sorry. More than 20 cars derailed were scattered around the washout tracks near the town of Hillsdale. Authorities said there was no reports of injuries. The video shows engines overturned, chemicals leaking into the water, although the officials said they do not believe this is a hazardous material situation. All right, but they said that the Mississippi River had already risen in the Louisiana area 6 feet, and they expected for it to rise another 17 feet before the rest of the week was over. So they're worried about that. So we're going to pray for all of you down there in Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Panhandle area. So pray for everybody down there. And all right, we will be praying for you guys. We're going to go to the earthquakes right now. Greece, 4.5, just had an earthquake. Papua New Guinea, 5.3. California had earthquake. Peru had a 5.0. Tonga, 5.2. Fiji Islands, 4.7. Philippines, 4.6. Japan, 4.6. Tonga, 4.7. Peru, 5.2. Japan, 5.0. Philippines, 4.5. Papua New Guinea, 4.7. Japan, 4.5. New Zealand, 5.1. Costa Rica, as you know, yesterday had quite a earthquake, and they have aftershocks of 4.5. Zamala, I don't know where that is, 5.4. Chile, 4.6. Papua New Guinea, 4.8. Solomon Islands, 4.5. There's the Costa Rica one, a 6.1. Bolivia even had a 4.4, and Pakistan had a 4.4 yesterday. So they are rocking and rolling. And why would that be? It could be because as far as spaceweather.com goes, we have solar winds of 362.1 kilometers per second, which is a pretty good clip. And we've been having geomagnetic storms going on. Those geomagnetic storms have been sending some rare blue auroras over Canada. Really cool rare blue auroras. So those are northern lights that are usually green, sometimes red. But these colors were oxygen hit by electrons raining down from space during a geomagnetic storm. On Friday night, however, Harlan Thomas of Calgary, Alberta, witnessed a different color, a deep blue. And you will go to spaceweather.com. They give you a link. It's beautiful. To see these incredible blue pillars is a sign of nitrogen. Energetic particles striking ionized molecule nitrogen at very high altitudes can produce a blue glow rarely seen during auroral displays. In this case, it was the afterglow of a CME impact. The CME left the sun on May the 6th, propelled in our direction by an explosion in the magnetic canopy of sunspot AR2740. When it finally arrived on May 10th, the slow-moving storm cloud rattled the Earth's magnetic field, triggering a minor G1 class geomagnetic storm. The auroras were sighted in parts of Canada as well as U.S. states such as Michigan and Minnesota. To top it off, Steve appeared for several minutes as well, says Thomas, who captured it in his shot. Steve is a hot 3,000 degrees Celsius ribbon of ionized gas slicing through the Earth's upper atmosphere. It appears unpredictably during some, but not all, geomagnetic storms. Originally thought to be a form of an aurora borealis, new research shows that it's not an aurora at all. The soft purple color of Steve may be caused by emissions from nitrogen. Steve and blue auroras seem to share a connection to the seventh element on the periodic table. Blue auroras are most often seen during intense geomagnetic storms, yet this was a relatively minor storm. Why nitrogen blue overtopped the usual hues of oxygen on May 11th? It's unclear. It just goes to show that auroras still have the capacity to surprise us. So there's just been a whole lot of things going on in space. As we said, the heavens were shaking, and that's what we had going on in Cincinnati. So true to form, all kinds of things have been happening on spaceweather.com. There is another CME that is coming in. Estimated time of arrival is May 15th. The solar storm cloud was hurled in our direction by a double explosion on the sun. You can click to play a movie of the event recorded by NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory and pay close attention to the regions labeled 1 and 2. And you can click all those things on spaceweather.com, my favorite. I think it is my favorite website of the whole internet. So that tells you something, except, of course, for Paul Begley, prophecy.com. All right. The movie shows two magnetic filaments erupting in quick succession on May 10th through 11th. So truly, the heavens were shaking, weren't they? The first was attached to decaying sunspot AR 2740. The second filament may have been destabilized by the eruption of the first. It cut through the sun's atmosphere, carving a canyon of fire that remained visible for nearly an hour after the blast. Wow. Ejecta from the two explosions have combined to form a CME now crossing the Sun-Earth divide. If NOAA analysts are correct, the solar storm cloud could reach Earth during the early hours of May 15th, bringing a 60% chance of minor G1 class geomagnetic storms. Okay, and also Sprite storm over Europe. On Saturday night in the Czech Republic, Martin Popek photographed dozens of red sprites leaping up from a thunderstorm. They were over the intersecting borders of Austria, Hungary, and Slovakia. I would love to see those too. Unlike ordinary lightning bolts, which lance down from thunderstorms, sprites fly up. They spread their gossamer red structures through the upper atmosphere alongside auroras and natalucent clouds, making them a true space weather phenomenon. Some researchers believe sprites are linked to cosmic ray subatomic particles from deep space strike the top the Earth's atmosphere, producing secondary electrons that may spark the eerie red forms. If this link is real, it could mean more sprites are in the offing. Cosmic rays are increasing to their greatest intensity in more than 50 years. Isn't that amazing? All right. So, and let me put a shout out there to all of you people who love Star Wars. The Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you. I learned about this from my kids in San Diego because they were doing a virtual walkathon on May 4th. Because May the 4th be with you, they were doing a Star Wars virtual walkathon. Can you believe that? So let me put a shout out there to all of you who love Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th, the students of Earth to Sky Calculus launched an array of cosmic ray sensors to the stratosphere. Now, why is that important? We need to support this because they do it every week or so to monitor the increasing levels of atmospheric radiation. So yes, they're doing this as a service to measure the radiation. And because of that, we get this information. So yes, that's very important. And so they launched a special crystal moon ball, went along for the ride, and they're selling that to raise money. So may the 4th be with everybody all. Okay. All right. So every night, a network of NASA all-sky cameras measures the fireballs. And guess what? On May the 12th, last night, they reported 69 fireballs. Is that crazy or what? Sometimes I look at this as only like 11, 15, 16 fireballs. All right. You have near-Earth near-Earth asteroids. We're keeping a watch on those. Right now, you have 1,983 potentially hazardous asteroids coming our direction, and you can keep track of those right here as well. Let's see, we're on May 13th, and you have some coming 3.2 lunar distances, some coming 2.3 lunar distances, nothing that plans to hit the Earth, unless, of course, something sneaks up on us, and that has happened before. All right, so cosmic rays in the atmosphere, they are 18% increase, and that's why they're sending all those balloons up to keep a track on it, all right? And it is an 18% increase. You can track on here what flights might be your hot flights, meaning as you get higher into the atmosphere, you will be more exposed to radiation, meaning if you are on airplanes a lot, you can be exposed to higher radiation, okay? All right. Enough of that, because like I said, I am going to be kicked off of this internet very soon, I see, because my computer is not going to be able to keep up with your stream. So I'm sorry, our show will be cut off soon, okay? So when you see me go dark, I'm sorry, we will not be able to continue today for the full hour, but I'm conserving all the energy I can here for as long as I can. All right. All right, we will stick with you as long as we can. Hey, there is weird stuff going on in Germany. Have you heard about these crossbow murders? Something really weird is happening in Germany. Weird crossbow murders going on. All right, so they found yesterday, they found 3 people killed with crossbow murders. They find today 2 more bodies. The bodies were found in Griffhorn, Lower Saxony, in the apartment of one of the women discovered in Passau, Bavaria. The apartment was searched in order to shed light on the Passau discoveries. Detectives were hoping for clues to the mysterious deaths of 1 man and 2 women, all apparently dead from being shot by crossbows. Griffhorn police told DPA they were investigating the identities of the 2 newly discovered women to determine their connection with the 3 dead found over the weekend. The 2 female corpses were found near the northern city of Hanover, while detectives probed the mysterious deaths of a man and 2 women discovered over the weekend in the Bavarian town of Passau, close to the Austrian border. The 2 crime scenes were 645 kilometers apart at opposite ends of Germany. Is that weird or what? No details were given as to whether the latest 2 corpses in Lower Saxony had also been killed by crossbow bolts. On Saturday, hotel staff in Passau discovered 3 dead Germans in their room around noon alongside 2 crossbows. The news had stunned local residents in Passau, a picturesque Bavarian town on the Austrian border. A 3rd crossbow was later found packed inside a bag. The 3 were a 33-year-old woman and a 53-year-old man from Rhineland-Palatinate state and a 30-year-old woman from Lower Saxony who arrived Friday. There are currently no indications that other persons were involved. Local media reported that the man and the 33-year-old woman were found dead in the bed holding hands with bolts in their heads and chests, while the 30-year-old woman was found lying on the floor with a bolt in her chest. Reports said the 3 had arrived Friday from different parts of Germany and had all checked in without luggage. They returned to their cars later after the reception was closed to get the bags containing the crossbows. One of the women had booked the triple room for 85 euros a night without breakfast for 3 nights. It was a strange group, the guests recalled, according to the newspaper, saying that the bearded man wore a suit while the women were dressed in black. They had all wished a good evening, taken glasses of soft drink and water, and then disappeared into the 2nd floor room as rain fell outside. Police said the town's prosecutor had ordered autopsies, which were aimed to ascertain the cause and circumstances of the deaths. Initial results from the post-mortem investigations were expected by Tuesday morning. The German Shooting and Archery Federation told DPA that anybody over age 18 may buy a crossbow. Meanwhile, the death of a 31-year-old Nigerian woman at a refugee processing center in South Bavaria caused a clash to break out between police and asylum claimants. The police attempted to retrieve the woman's body at the refugee center in Rosenberg, but were pelted with rocks and glass bottles. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with one or the other, but that's a local paper, so that's apparently why they're going on with that. So is that just the strangest thing ever? Crossbow deaths in Germany? What is that all about? Okay, and then when they go to the woman's apartment to see if they can figure out more about the identity, they find 2 more dead bodies. What is that all about? There's your strange news for the day. It's just very, very, very odd. I don't know what to tell you about that. Okay? All right. But I will tell you that we seem to have a problem with China. China is a little bit upset with this trade war. Seems that China is a bit upset about the trade war with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is continuing to tweet about it. So he says, I say openly to President Xi and all my friends in China that China will be hurt very badly if you don't make a deal, because companies will be forced to leave China for other countries. Too expensive to buy in China. You had a great deal, almost completed, and you backed out. There is no reason for the U.S. consumer to pay the tariffs which take effect on China today. This has been proven recently when only 4 points were paid by the U.S., 21 points by China because China subsidizes product to such a large degree. Also, the tariffs in China can be whatever. So we go on and on and on. Goldman Sachs is upset. The Dow has dropped in China. In China. In the U.S., the stock market has fallen. So we have a trade war going on. The U.S. and China are in trade war going on currently. So the U.S. says that we are placing a tariff on China, and China has responded this morning saying, and I double that. So we have China is raising tariffs on $60 billion of U.S. goods starting June the 1st. Now, all of this is going on as we have a G20 getting ready to start in Japan next month. So all of this is going on. The Dow is dropping. I'm not sure what it is right now, but it is dropped as much as 650 points. So somebody out there can tell me what the latest is on the Dow right now. Now that, mind you, that's after the Dow was at its highest point ever, but nobody bothered to report when the Dow was climbing. So we have all that going on. Also, we have a technology problem where China continues to steal technology, what do you call that? Intellectual properties. We have China continually stealing intellectual property, and China saying, oh, I'm so sorry. Or they don't even say, I'm so sorry. They're saying, oh, are you so stupid? But anyways, that keeps going on. All right, so all of that is going on, and then I am receiving emails about things like China has gotten some weaponry that can go and defeat our radar and defeat stealth radar, and it's a little bit more technical than I understand. So I was trying to read it and understand it. Let me see if I can pull it up and try to read it and see if it makes more sense to some of you guys who are more understand weapons more than me. So this comes from the Global Times Online. Let's see if I can read it and make more sense. All right, so Chinese arms companies recently made multiple terahertz radiation radar systems with a technology seen by experts as an efficient air-to-ground reconnaissance tool and a potential counter to stealth aircraft. A prototype terahertz radiation radar was successfully developed by a China Electronics Technology Group Corporation, team led by scientist Li Yunajing, and a second-generation prototype is already in development. China Central Television reported on Sunday, citing a statement released by CETC. The development of terahertz radiation radar is a global challenge, according to CETC. The CCTV report said that terahertz radiation has wavelengths between those of infrared rays and microwaves, a wide spectrum that would render current stealth technologies obsolete, making the radar able to detect stealth aircraft. Stealth aircraft usually uses composite materials and radar wave absorbing coatings, so normal radars cannot effectively detect them. Terahertz radiation, on the other hand, could penetrate those materials and expose metallic parts within the aircraft, lifting its cover. He also noted that a terahertz radiation radar could also clearly trace the outline of an object, making it possible to even tell what type of object it is. Experts said the terahertz radiation decays very fast in the air, meaning the effective range of the radar is likely low and not sufficient for detecting an advanced stealth fighter jet in the time before it launches attacks from beyond visual range. While the anti-stealth aspect of the technology still needs time to be ironed out, the technology can be used for air-to-ground reconnaissance at great efficiency. China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation successfully developed China's first terahertz radiation video synthetic aperture radar, Beijing-based newspaper Science and Technology Daily reported in December of 2018. This radar uses terahertz radiation to see through complicated environments like smoke, smog, dim lights, and can efficiently detect ground infantry targets in camouflage and disguise, the newspaper said, noting it has stronger penetration capability than infrared vision devices. When placed on aircraft or on a drone, the radar would allow operators to clearly see battlefield situations and deliver precision strikes on targets that would otherwise be difficult to detect. Why is that important? Well, maybe it's important because I received another bit of intelligence saying that people who are in trade war with us are planning to hit us soon. And that is as much as I'm going to say currently. But for us to get ready soon. All right? All right. That's as far as I'm going to say with that. But I have gotten information on that. So everybody is coming up with brinksmanship on what they're going to do. We need to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We need to pray for the peace of the United States.
Down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of the ground. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Look way down the river. What do you think you see? I see a band of angels, and they're coming after me. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Look down yonder, Gabriel. Put your feet on the land and see. Gabriel, don't blow that trumpet until you hear from me. There ain't no grave gonna hold my Jesus, meet me in the middle of the air. And if these wings don't fail me, I'll meet you anywhere. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, meet me, mother and father, down by the river road. Mama, you know I'll be there. I'm a checking in my load. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. No, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Oh, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Prophetic Letters for America. This two-part DVD will raise the faith within you and this nation. From our founding fathers to our current president, America has been blessed with the power of the Word of God. You will hear some of their prayers, presidential prayers that each president prayed, and their faith of the Bible. You have to get a copy of this DVD and be blessed in the Word. I have a brand new DVD entitled The Total Eclipse of the Sun. I mean, we have these great solar eclipses, the constellations in the heavens of Revelation 12, and many other signs that God gives in the last days. I have this DVD available at my website only. It's a powerful presentation of the coming of Jesus Christ and everything you need to know about His return. Get it now at my website. I'm so thankful to have this opportunity, folks, to tell you about a brand new music CD called The Journey. Every song has been absolutely godly inspired to touch the heart and soul of every person. Go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. Get it now, because these songs will inspire you in your walk of life. The Journey, we're all on it, and this music CD will literally change your soul. I want to thank all my partners for standing with me, for helping us in the mission of leading people to Jesus Christ, for winning souls into the kingdom. Our live broadcast online, we're seeing 25, 30 souls every day accepting Christ as their Savior. And right here on this television broadcast, so many have come to Jesus Christ. We couldn't do it without you, but we can do all things with Christ. So thank you again for being our partners. God bless all of you.